Demetrius Smith, a freelance reporter. I have been given the opportunity of a lifetime to travel back in time and speak with Herodotus. Herodotus is famous for writing the histories. The histories recount the wars and battles between the great Persian Empire and the Greek city-states. I would like to thank Herodotus for offering some of his time to speak with me today. What event do you feel is the greatest moment of honor for the Greeks?
Without a doubt, the greatest moment of honor of the Greek was the Battle of the Thermopylae. At this battle, an alliance of Greek city-states, who previously fought against each other, came together to fight against an enormous Persian Empire. They did this knowing that they were outnumbered.
In Herodotus' article, he states that the Persian Empire was comprised of 150,000 men, and the Greek force was comprised of 7,100 men, while you state the Persian Empire was comprised of 3 million men, and the Greek force was comprised of 3,100 men. How do you account for the large discrepancies in these numbers?
In the end, the question isn't what are the actual numbers, but were the Greeks outnumbered by the Persians? No matter whose numbers you feel are factual, both result in the same conclusion, that is, Persians far outnumbered the Greeks.
What effect did Sparta's Carnia and the all-Greek Olympic Games have on the Battle of Thermopylae?
Both of the festivals were religious-based. Carneria was dedicated to Apollo, while the Olympic game was a celebration of the gods. This placed limitation on the amount of Spartans could send to the Thermopylae battle. This is why Sparta only sent 300 men.
What are your thoughts on Herodotus' suggestion that it is merely a legend that Thermopylae was a planned suicide mission for the Leonidas?
As I stated in the histories, prior to the battle, a prophet foresaw that either the city must be laid waste by the foreigner or a Spartan king must be killed. It's ridiculous to think Leonidas' strategy was to have his men guard the rear and then escape for the last moment. That would be impossible. He stayed to save the city, Sparta. Knowing the decision resulted in...
The prophet was
Yes, the prophet was correct. Without the death of King Leonidas, the Greeks may not have that drive to eventually overcome the Persian Empire. Leonidas was stunned. The enemy leader Xerxes by accumulating significant casualties to the Persian army. Without Leonidas' strong presence and ultimately his death, the outcome may have been vastly different. His death made him a hero in the eyes of the Greeks and gave them the will to fight.
Many would criticize your negative views towards the three Thebans. They claim that it does not make sense for Leonidas to take them as hostages during the final day of the battle, as they could have turned on the Spartans and Thespians at any time. Critics argue that the Thebans are also heroes of battle. How do you respond to this argument?
It is outrageous for anybody to claim that Thebans are heroes, and should be remembered in the same way as Spartans and the Thespians. The latter fought to the death while the Thespians surrendered to the enemy.
Known as the father of history, but sometimes some critics feel you're just a great storyteller. And some even feel you're the father of lies. How do you respond to these critics?
For me, being known as the father of history and a great storyteller go hand in hand. While some critics believe that being a great storyteller has a negative impact on my ability to recount historical events, I, on the other hand, look to view that if not for my abilities of being a great storyteller, I would not have been a successful historian. And therefore, I would not be known as father of history just because I'm a great storyteller. Does not mean I invented history.
My last question for you today is, what advice would you give to an upcoming historian?
The best advice I could give you for an upcoming historian is to not be afraid to recount the details of historical events. You will not be able to please everyone, as there are different perspectives when looking at the events.
Thank you you very much for your insightful interview today. I appreciate your frank answers to my questions. You have provided us with a better understanding of your perspective on these battles. This is Demetrius Smith, a freelance reporter, signing out.